Nammo Allahi Gedan Ludan Jinike Tubum Tada Mi Kenam Tang Drowa Kunjidake Ji Zambar Tamche Gedo Dagi Chutun To Daja Ki Temba Nyame Tupewambe Shabjedul Timame Bala Gowe Rabdu Dude Gosum Guba Chembe Chantarsing Japsun Chiwo Dadon Simjian Tamjiji Ju Chinjia Labar Zedu Sol Balden Zawilama Rimbo Che Dagi Chiwurupeme Denjula Garden Chimbugone Je Zonde Gusung Tuji Udrupzadu Sol Wonna Namkatan Nyambe Simjian Tamjian Namchian Lana Meba Yang Taba Zobe Sanjiji Kumpar Rumbochela Gobar cha di chidu talam tambi chu samu cheba la chu nyimbi kunhonda kunchen nambaradabe zensar. Today, as per request, I am conducting these particular teachings based on the Dharma of 5. First of all, according to the general basic quality of a meritorial person, there is 5 particulars that can describe and personify a meritorial person. First, tamed mind and also leveled mind. Tamed means not a wild mind. Calm, balanced means that tamedness will maintain, not fluctuating. Then second quality is gentle, the gentleness. And remaining in gentle, we can appear to be gentle, but remaining in gentle. In the surface, in the depth, the person is gentle. The gentleness does not come from pretense. It comes from the person's insight. A person is truly tamed, truly level-headed, then truly gentle, and it appears, it manifests. Then the third quality is a straightforward person. Straightforward have so many characteristics, such as a just person, a truthful person. So that is being, let's say, mature enough so that you don't feel that there is need to be manipulative. Being manipulative is very stressful because you can forget and you have to twist this way, that way, in your head, in your words, or in your action also. So if you are truthful and just and straight, then don't have to have those unnecessary mental, physical, oral activities. Then the fourth is the stable mind. In a way, we can describe the person is trustworthy because a person who is content, and not only content, but who have self-worth and self-trust, then the person does not see any reason to be unstable. Instability will not happen. A house is unstable if it is lacking the good foundation. Even with good foundation, the house would be unstable if it is built on an unstable ground. So on and so forth. So stable. And stable also is flexibility. Because if you are stable, then you can be flexible. Otherwise, you think you will lose a lot by being flexible because you are not sure about your ground, your stability, your root. So if root is not good, foundation is not good, then you fear that if you are too flexible, it might trip. So therefore, flexibility is very important. Unflexibility person, a person without flexibility mentally is full of stress. So one have to be able to be flexible. But then flexibility without principle is like a flag without flagpole. Flag should be able to move around in the wind so that everybody can see it, but it can move very beautifully and gracefully if the flag post is sturdy and strong, like that. Flexibility goes with steadiness. Then with all of those four qualities, then you almost know everything. Know everything not by being omniscient, but somehow how to act at the right time, the right way, what to say at the right time in the right way, and what to think about right time about the right subject, right issue. So therefore, all of these five qualities describe a meritorial person, not an enlightened person, but meritorial person. Meritorial means happy person. Meritorial means like a beautiful tree in which all the birds will live. A beautiful tree under whose shade all the children and people will rest under the shade. And a beautiful tree which becomes the ornament of that surrounding. So this way, it also becomes the source of many other beautiful trees. It becomes the inspiration. It becomes an experience. So that is a very basic five meritorial persons' characteristic. Then we make one more step. So that is a good Dharma practitioner, a yogi. So the 5 signs of a good yogi. You can say good monk, good nun, good Dharma practitioner who can be a junior, who can be quite senior. Anyway, if the person's Dharma practice is going well and genuinely well, then these 5 qualities will be there. the first. When somebody praises you, it does not wavers you. And if somebody insults you, it does not wavers you. At the same time, technically, you know how much somebody praises you. They cannot praise enough, which is to justify for your primordial potential. And your primordial potential is Buddha. So nobody can praise you enough to justify for your primordial potential. You are happy when somebody says nice things, but you will not go hysterically happy. And then when somebody insults you, the same thing. Nobody can insult you exactly to the shortcomings of you, because you are the Buddha and I am the Buddha, and I did not realize the Buddhahood. I am wandering in samsara, ignorance, attachment, anger, jealousy, pride, all of this. So no one can insult me enough to really describe all of my shortcomings. So that way somebody can say, you look terrible. Somebody can say, you are stupid. All kinds of things, but it is nothing comparing to my fault and my shortcoming of not knowing who I am, who I always has been, the Buddha in the making. So that. And so that is the first, let's say, indication of a good practitioner. Then the second indication is when you are doing things and saying things, it is for the benefit of others. But of course we can say and do things for the benefit of others, but the good yogi, good practitioners, doing things and saying things and thinking about things for the benefit of others, no strings are touched. No strings are touched whatsoever. No expectation. So that is number 2. And number 3, when one is meditating and saying the mantras, reading the sutra text or tantra text, or just simply meditating, so it has to be pure. For example, you are meditating, and when you are alone and nobody is looking, you are a little bit kind of wandering in your mind. And your body also is not really properly sitting. But when there's other people around and people start to look, and nowadays people start to take picture, then you really sit like a yogi, you know, and straight and try to be impressive as possible. Nothing like that. Nobody looking, nobody listening, or everybody looking, everybody listening. Your practice is same. Your manner of practice is same. So that is the quality of a good yogi. Then the fourth quality of a yogi is, even you're going to die tomorrow, and even you're going to live for 100 or more years, there's no differences. you are not afraid of dying tomorrow, and you are not thrilled for living 100 years. No differences. Every moment is living and dying. So the good practitioner yogi, for him or for her, every moment is the death of the previous moment and the birth of the present moment, and then the future moment will come immediately after the present moment. So it is continuation. And birth and death is nothing more than the past moment, present moment, and next moment. Or a little bit more rough than we can say, more superficial, I mean, rough means superficial, I mean. That is, every night we go to sleep is like dying. Every morning we wake up is like being born. It is. So same way, every moment is like that. For the yogi who have nothing to fear, because death is unknown, you know. We don't know what will happen to next life, what will happen after death. The same way, we really don't know what will happen tomorrow, what will happen next moment, we really don't know. Therefore, there's no fear for death, means the person is not afraid to die, so ready to die any time for any cost. It doesn't mean that. Wisely and positively living every moment as the first moment or the last moment. So that is a fourth quality of a yogi, true yogi. And fifth quality of a yogi is, regardless of whether something supposed to be very important or something supposed to be mediocre, regardless of anything, the yogi's awareness, yogi's clarity, and the yogi's decisiveness, yogi's truthfulness, yogi's stableness is equal. Something supposed to be super important, yogi does not have any extra things to pull out to suit for that occasion. And something that is everyday thing, yogi does not have anything to leave aside. Like, we have a function, very important function. We have special dresses, we have special things to wear and carry and things like that. The yogi don't have those things. For yogi, always the same, always decided, always clear, always aware, always truthful, always stable. So these 5 qualities are qualities or sign of a good practitioner, good yogi. Of course, you and I and everyone who try to practice Dharma, we should be yogi. And then we should be able to do this. So right now, most of us not able to do it. So we should look forward for it. We should strive for it, not desperately, because you can never achieve anything desperately. When you are desperate, you make a big mess of everything and everything that is even in the palm of your hand, if you are desperate, you will shake and you will make it fall off and break it down there. So don't be desperate. Just calm. Everything's okay. And the great space is not going to go away. Your Buddha nature you're not going to lose it. And time will always remain there as past, present, and future. So therefore, there's no reason to panic, no reason to be hysterical, no reason to be too excited or too depressed. So that are the qualities of a yogi. Okay. Now, these are the particulars, and then now we go into a little bit specific about practice. Now, practice is in Mahamudra lineage. There is 5 things very, very important, and every Mahamudra lineage emphasizes on it, but in the Ndikung lineage emphasize on it quite clearly, quite, let's say, specifically. So, like this, preliminary. So, preliminary is first, and the preliminary is refuge, bodhicitta. And bodhicitta is based on a refuge to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, of course. Bodhicitta for the enlightenment for all sentient beings, of course. But this has to be truly implemented and practiced in daily manner. Of course, moment by moment, but that's a bit too much to expect from most of us. So, day to day. And the second is the self-visualization. Third is visualization above your crown, not part of you, but above your crown. So these two is described as sampana krama and uppana krama, the visualization and completion. So here, yourself transforming into the form of a deity, the Sambhogakaya form of deity, or great deity, Bodhisattva, father of all the Buddha, like Avalokiteshvara, or mother of all the Buddha, like Tara. But Avalokiteshvara is mentioned in the text particularly, but in principle the same. Then the Guru. So Guru here means on the crown, Guru Vajradhara. So many times I have seen people get confused about human guru and what human guru represents. So these two things mixed up. So human guru is the person who received the transmission from his or her guru, whose lineage goes back to Buddha Shakyamuni. And because you receive those lineage of transmission of the pure Dharma, so that person is your guru. If it is not for the lineage, guru does not exist. And so guru exists because of the lineage. And then people ask, What is the relationship with Guru? Very simple. Your relationship to your Guru, far as Vajrayana Dharma practice is concerned, you received the pure teaching of Buddha, which continued from Buddha Shakyamuni all the way until your Guru, and your Guru transmitted those sacred teachings to you, so that is your relationship. And your Guru represents the Buddha, because I cannot see the Buddha right now, so my Guru represents Buddha to me, and my Guru's words are the teaching of Buddha, not anything that Guru say, but Dharma, the pure Dharma that Guru will embark on me, that is the pure teaching of Dharma. And then Guru himself or herself is a Sangha. Maybe ordinary Sangha, maybe Arhat, maybe in Vajrayana sense, then it is maybe a Bodhisattva, or maybe a Yogi. So that is the Sangha aspect of Guru. So your relationship to the Guru is to listen to the teaching of the Guru, which is the teaching of the Buddha, continued, and then practice that. So that is your relationship to your Guru. Okay? Beside that, every human being who is associated with any other human being as simply as a teacher, the Guru, or beside that, human to human as a friend, a close friend, like that. So these are another thing that have not much to do with the Guru by definition, but as a human who you are familiar with. That is a different thing. And Guru as that human says something. For example, your Guru in between teachings will say, oh, can you please go and buy a cup of coffee from Starbucks? Don't forget to bring a muffin. That is not Dharma teaching. That is just a human-to-human conversation. Friend asking friend. So if you can, you say yes. If you can't, you say, oh, today I'm busy, please forgive me, but I will order. And then you call, and Starbucks will bring the coffee and the muffin, I guess, I don't know, but if not too far, they will do it. So that way you are not doing anything wrong. Just you do your best. And then if you can, just for like a friend, you're working in some places and your friend is a little bit tired and he's tell you, I'm going to rest in this park on this bench. I really had a hard time. I'm standing for a whole day working. Please, is it okay for you to bring me a pizza? If you can, you say yes. If you can't, you say I can't. Just like that. So the Guru's Dharma teaching, you must practice. Guru as a human being, asking something in a human level, then you say yes or no according to your understanding and Guru's understanding. And of course, if you think your Guru is Buddha, that is a different thing. There isn't much I can say. But some of my students, my Dharma students, tell me you are Buddha. I tell them I am not. And then they insist. Then I tell them, okay, in your meditation, in your prayer, in your practice, you can think that way. That's fine for me. But in my life, you sitting there, I'm sitting here, you think I'm Buddha, everything that I say is Buddha's word, then I don't want it because I am not Buddha yet. Maybe few million years from now I will be Buddha. So that's different. So anyway, I will not go too much on it, but there is lots of confusion in this area. Because in my background, there's very little confusion in this area. But especially in new Buddhists, whose parents are not Buddhist, who are not from the Buddhist environment, and even they are Buddhist, they are not familiar with Vajrayana Buddhist, then they have all kind of misgivings and fantasies about guru-disciple relationship. So this you have to get it straight. Okay. Then the fourth is actual practice of Mahamudra. Normally, preliminary practice, purification practice, guru yoga, deity practice, etc. is one thing. But Mahamudra straight to the meditation is as very specific. What discerns these is, there is no deity, there is no particular mantras or anything like this, but just meditate. So then there is three things about meditation, Mahamudra meditation. Listen to me very carefully. First, you have to meditate to make your mind calm. And you have to reach calm, abiding state of mind. Not desperately trying to be calm. Therefore, there are so many methods. And I will tell you a little later specifics, but some specifics. But so those methods will help you to be calm easily. What makes you not calm is your ignorance, your attachment, your anger, your jealousy, your pride. All those things make you uncalm. At the same time, your body and all of the prana, bindu, in your nadi, when they are not in harmony and synchronity, then it makes you not calm. So calm them down, calm down, everything be in balance. So that is the first step. So once you are calm, then you will be clear. That is vipassana. So here I have to be clear again. Sometimes in Pali, the vipassana and samatha, and the Sanskrit vipassana and samatha is slightly specific. I can't say different, but specific. So I don't know Pali that much, but I base everything on Sanskrit because my Tibetan understanding is based more on Sanskrit, also on Pali, of course, but Sanskrit. So here the vipassana means a clarity. Because of your mind is calm, then you become clear. You know, and that clarity, whatever you think about, become very clear. For example, does my mind exist in my body? Very clear. And does my mind have any shape and form and color? Very clear. Does my mind have any speed? Very clear. For me, I hope I'm not being presumptuous, but speed of mind is the ultimate. a billion galaxies away, your mind can be there. At the same time, your mind is here, all pervading. So not traveling, not going, but being in all places at the same time. I can say this through understanding of teachings that I have received. I have some glimpses of experience in a very, very tiny, small, little way. But anyway, in any case, I cannot claim such experience I have. But I have. I smelled it, I tasted it, I heard it, something like that. So that way, I know what I'm talking about. So that is the vipassana in the highest level. And then finally, you realize the essence of everything, that is essence of you. When you realize the essence of you, that is the nature of your mind, the primordial, uncorruptible, all-pervading, ever-present wisdom, then you realize everything about everything. Otherwise, even to know the definition of everything by one, it will take a billion lifetimes to count and write down and to describe them. Even that is not enough. Because if that is, then endless space with countless universe, with numberless sentient beings, does not mean anything. So relatively, it is impossible to know everything. Ultimately, when you know everything about one thing thoroughly, then you know everything about everything. And in that, easiest and closest is to know the essence of yourself, essence of your mind. Then you know essence of everything. And so that is the shamatha, vipassana, and meditation on nature of mind, the main practice. Then the conclusion. Then dedicate everything, the first, second, third, fourth, everything for the benefit of all sentient beings, to have that realization. That is dedication. So these 5 things, a practitioner like you and me have to complete in every practice, every session, every day, every retreat, all the time. We have to continue this. How much we complete this every time, that much we become a true yogi. If we complete this once in a while, then okay. Sometimes we just manage to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, we forget, we get carried away, our mind wander around, we get scattered, not focused. Then, of course, we're still doing our best, but our practice is not utmost. So that is a particular about Mahamudra practice. Now, since there isn't much time, I will make a conclusion. So we take one step further. Then that is the 5 knowledge. Okay. So, for example, with Tibetan culture, it is totally influenced by Vajrayana Buddhism, totally. So I give you example. we say 5 aspects of knowledge. One is creation, art. Second is healing, the medicine, any kind of treatment. Third is sound. Sanskrit is the base, and then the language, and everything that is to do with the language. For example, poetry, so singing, dancing, all of these things are expression. The creation, the first one, is how outside universe is formed. Earth, water, fire, air, 4 elements formed in the space, the 5 elements. So even you do a small thing, make a pot, you work on a pottery, you have to know those rules. Otherwise, you will make a beautiful pot, you forget to fire it, the moment you use it, it will fall apart. So that way, even to make a pottery, you have to know the creation, and that is 5 elements. And then creative art and all kind of aspect goes into it. And also creating the image of Buddha, etc., also goes into it. Then the second, the healing, the Soarikpa, the art of healing. So that is medicine of all kind, not just put in the mouth, but apply from outside, and also all kind of correction of neurological system which is blocked or entangled, or muscle system which is entangled, or bone system which is not in right place, pushed here and pushed there, putting them all together. It is like a fine-tuning of the most sophisticated piano or violin. The body is like that. So you have to fine-tune the body. So that is Soarikpa. Through oral medicine, through all kind of treatment, including correction of bones and muscles and nerve systems, etc., etc. And diet, of course. So that is, first is the outside existence. Second is inside the being's physical existence. The third, this sound, is when the being makes a movement inside or outside, then that is the sound. So you can have a guitar sitting there, you can have a, have a beautiful harp sitting there for 1,000,000 years. It will not make sound. But if it is touched by a wind, or if it is touched by a falling leaf, or if it is touched by a bird landing on it, or if it is touched by a real master musician, then it makes a beautiful sound. So like that, every sound is coming from the movement. And so that poetry is also beautiful sound, but very sophisticated. Even something supposed to be terrible poetry, if you really look into it, it is a beautiful poetry. For example, you can never have a terrible poetry. If somebody make a joke, try to make a terrible joke, but if you tune your mind into it, it is a beautiful, beautiful, very funny joke, you know. So like that, music is like that. Excuse me. And if you go around the world and listen to all kinds of musics throughout the world, then until you understand it, it sounds quite strange. But when you understand it, It's beautiful. When I heard the heavy metal music for the first time, it is horrific for me. Instead of making my mind calm, it stirs me up. It's like a wild horse got loosed inside a metal factory, which makes all kinds of pots and plates. It sounds like that at the beginning. But once I overcame that sort of mindset, then the heavy metal musics are beautiful. It has rhythms. It goes right into your bone and your bone marrow. It goes into your heart and it goes into your heartbeat. It goes into every cell in your brain and your body. That's why so many people like it so much. But of course, with due respect, to do meditation, because I am not enlightened or truly mature, enlightened, close to enlightenment meditator, heavy metal I don't prefer. I like more very contemporary music for my meditation. But nevertheless, I really like to listen to heavy metal in that kind of time. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. There's no such thing as a sound that is not beautiful. You hear the explosion of a volcanic eruption. It is very fierce and very powerful. But if you listen to it very calmly, of course, from far away, and from documentary film with good sound system, it has so much sound in it, all combined together. It is beautiful. So the sound is coming from the matter moving inside the space. And then the pramana. Pramana means logic. And so that is how do you define what is what. If you look at a forest in a long away, far away, maybe 100 miles away or maybe 20 miles away, with my kind of eye, maybe 20 miles away, then if there is a smoke coming out, then I know there is a fire. I don't see the fire, but I know there is fire. But I wouldn't know the fire is still there or fire is no more. So I have to look further. If smoke is moving and rising up, then I know the fire is still going on. You know? So like that, everything have a logic. Everything have a logic. And so that is fourth aspect of knowledge. Then all of those four knowledge, all of it boils down to the fifth, because that is the knowledge of insight. So everything manifests out there because the source of that manifestation is in here. If I have an eye, I will see. But my mind, insight, and my eye connect, and then something out there to see, I will see. Same thing with the ear, the sound, same thing with the tongue, the taste, same thing with the nose, the smell, same thing with body, the touch. It's all connected to insight. And if we are free and awakened and mature and liberated from within, everything outside is liberated. Buddha Shakyamuni, after 2,600 years, even repeating his words, we feel the liberation, we feel the freedom, we feel the goodness, we feel the wisdom, the compassion, all of that. It manifests from within. Okay, now there's many more fives, but I will leave it alone for today because time is up. But for 5 things, for example, 5 wind, 5 energy, 5 defilement, 5 realm, coincide with each defilement, and 5 Dhyani Buddha, 5 element, and so 5 Buddhas, and then all the different symbols of the 5 Buddha, and 5 mudras of the 5 Buddha. So all of these things are enormous subject, and you should know they are there, and then we as a practitioner, we should learn in the future. And I'm sure there is more than enough material out there in all forms, library, and also any other forms of reading. Nowadays, in this electronic age, you can read those books in so many different ways. So I'm a 20th century person, and you are 21st century person, so you have so much more available at your fingertip. So you learn those things. Now I will use 5 particular song or poetry by a great enlightened master, Telopa, and Naropa continued it. This practice. So I just read through it. If you listen with the ear of the deaf. Everything that you hear is an echo. If you look with the eye of the blind. All the forms are reflections. If you have to destroy anything, destroy ignorance, because all sentient beings' suffering is caused by ignorance, the self-clinging. If you wanted to nurture anything, nurture the self-awareness, self-arisen, the fresh, the soma, fresh, primordial wisdom, because that is self-liberating. If you look at the mirror of the mind, because Dharma essence, the truth of the Dharma, truth of all the Dharma, sacred Dharma, if you realize one, you realize all. So these 5 verses are very precious for Naropa, because Telopa taught this, and then I, as a follower of the Naropa, after about 900 years, about almost 1,000 years, more than 900 years, then I feel so blessed to hear these words. So I share this with all of you. All the best. And today I must repeat one more time. The world has gone through so much hardship, pandemic, and first wave, second wave, third wave, and this variant, that variant, all of that. And at the same time, recently, so much natural phenomena. I think it is related to global warming or many things like that. I am not a scientist. I don't know for sure exact causes and conditions, but so many landslides, so many floods, so many earthquakes, and so many disasters or episodes. I say disasters because they're not supposed to be happening. So these things causing so much havoc, so much fear, so much anticipation, anxiety, and so many people lost their life. And not only that, they lost their dear ones. You know, they have to live the rest of their life with that feeling of loss of their dear ones, loved ones, parents, children, friends, so many things. And so friends are also sometimes people have some animals that they keep like dogs and cats, so on and so forth, and they're so close to them, they lost them. You know, big as a horse and elephants, small as a canary bird and a goldfish, lost them. And these things are not something that we can overlook and neglect because people's feelings are there. So these big losses, then on top of that, property losses, the financial losses are enormous, enormous. So we pray and dedicate the merit of this particular teaching for the benefit of all sentient beings to overcome all of that suffering. And all on top of that, we pray that nothing like this repeats again. The prayer, when we pray, prayer does not have to be pragmatic. Prayer have to be maximum. So we pray, may all sentient beings be free. May there be no more natural disasters and no more pandemics. We pray like that. So please do pray with me. Sunamdi tamje zikpa ni thobne nyebe danam pamje jegananji balap trupai sibian tsole Rowa dowar show jambala pawi chitara chemba tang kundu zangbo teyang tejinde teda kunje jesu dalubji gyawan de datamje rabdu ngo jina dewa chosu ngo pendin namkha chabarasho duna dunghar dagi kur kowa dunghar je janso tong parasho